Let's then move on to this now. The National Union of Mineworkers says it is shocked and disappointed by Sibanye Stillwater's decision to retrench more than 2,000 workers. The shafts affected here are the Beatrix 4 shaft and Kloof 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Trade Union Solidarity says it will participate in the consultation process with the hope of preventing the laying off of the workers or keeping them to a minimum. NUM's General Secretary William Mabapa joins us now, as well as the Solidarity's Gideon Plessis. Thank you so much to both of you. Gideon, let me begin with you. Take us behind closed doors. There have been consultation processes. The mine, when you look at some of the statements that are out there in various media platforms, it says that these shafts are making a loss and they're nearing the end of life. Are these correct? Is that what you're hearing as well behind closed doors?
Well, the first thing we've been for a while said, we think they've got the wrong management team in it, especially at Shaft 4. So that's the first thing, that we are concerned about. And it also doesn't help if you have a CEO receiving a remuneration in this same financial period of over 300 million rands and saying that they were shooting the lights out with the profits they were making, and now employees needs to be retrenched. If there are difficulties at that specific shaft, first of all, we must see is there a way in which we can productivity can be improved. But cross-subsidization is also very important here because they said they don't cross-subsidize, but they cross-subsidize the salaries of senior management between the gold and the platinum side, so they can do the same with the workers. So therefore, we will obviously not take it lying down.
Are you finding one another, though?
Well, we haven't at the moment. We are just corresponding, written correspondence between the parties. So we're waiting for the CCMA to appoint a facilitator to facilitate the process. So we haven't formally commenced the process, although the clock started ticking yesterday when we received the notice. So the 60-day consultation period commenced yesterday. And the letters that we received was obviously a very, poor timing, if you look at it, that by the end of December, they intend retrenching workers at Christmas time, which we file, it's totally unacceptable.
Mr. Mabapa, looking at the statement that has been released by the NUM, I suppose, you are not convinced. It looks like for you, there's more to these retrenchments than meets the eye. Your line is you're on mute, Dr. Mabapa. We're not
can
able
you hear
to.
Me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
No, what I'm trying to say is that from the NUM, we strongly believe that this is a retaliation from the strike, because we thought that, like you were saying, we were to be taken in confidence. Maybe I can say a certain conclusion that the board of the company or the management of this company is making to issue Section 189. They should have taken us into confidence and truly take us through as to what are the challenges in those shafts. So from NUM side, like I'm saying, we were shocked just to receive a Section 189 notice, unprepared that there can be a Section 189.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that you didn't talk about this in the lead up to the 60-day consultation process getting underway?
No, we were just served with Section 189 yesterday. And that is why we're saying we're shocked, because we thought that if there are challenges, we should have been informed about the challenges, make our own proposal as to what can be done. Yeah, to an extent that if at the end of the day you are served with Section 189, but having knowledge and a full knowledge that what are the challenges in the shafts, and then what measures also have been taken to resuscitate those shafts. When Section 189 is issued, and sometimes you don't become shocked, because it is something that you will have been prepared that there are developments that can lead to Section 189. So to us, it was just a shock to be served with a document. To us, yes, we will go because we don't have a choice, but we think that it's a ticking box.
All right, Mr. Mabapa's line there.
People in good faith.
All right, Mr. Mabapa, let me get back to Gideon here as well, because you mentioned that this is likely to result in a bleak Christmas from some of your members. I wonder, if the any other alternatives that are being put in place on the table here, because you're saying that the issue of cross-subsidization is an issue that probably won't be on the table here from the mine side. What are you thinking in terms of alternatives, and are these feasible for mine management?
Now, first of all, Bonge, we must understand there's a multiplying effect. We're not only talking about 2,000 employees, we're talking about 10 dependents per employee. So there are over 20,000 people being affected, because the total number is 2,446 people that might be affected. So if you look at the large number of dependents, if you look at the impact of on the local economy, in the Welkom area, obviously we must make sure that each and every person retain his or her job. So other than the normal things, that the company normally rush into as early retirement packages or voluntary separation packages or transfers, those kind of things we will entertain. But the end result is we need to have an agreement that nobody must lose his or her job. Now, in 2017, we were at the same crossroads, and we managed to come up with a plan. We set production targets, and we said if we keep on hitting those production targets, there's no need for retrenchment. So obviously, we want to use that same successful pattern that we've used up until now. There are things beyond our control that they say, for instance, the electricity cost and those kind of aspects impact on it. But the thing is, we cannot afford for anybody to put out in the streets to lose his or her job. And that's why we'll have to find alternatives. So like William said, first of all, we need to engage. We need to get the inside information. We need to understand, are there operational issues? What are the issues? And we need to look at it. So the 60-day period that started yesterday, it will end on 31st of December. It's a no-go area. First of all, we will have to continue next year with this consultation process. And then, this is a consensus-seeking process. And there's always a solution. 2013, the same shafts, we found a solution. 2017, we found solutions. There's no reason why we cannot find a solution this time around. And then, obviously, if there are transfer opportunities at this stage, yes, we will obviously recommend to our members they need to look at that, but we need to make sure that it's going to be a human tragedy if 2,400 people lose their jobs. Especially
in an economy that's already bleeding jobs right now. William, what has this done? What has this news done to your members?
A statement that really this is a shock. Because, like Gideon was also saying, this time where everybody's preparing for Christmas, and then you are served with Section 189, you can imagine that that is the most painful thing that you are expecting. So even the timing of this Section 189, in our view, it is not proper. We are not saying that there is a good timing for issuing Section 189, but we strongly believe that maybe for starters, they should have been taking us through the processes that what are the challenges that they are getting in those shafts from now until December. If there is a need for issuing Section 189, maybe be something that they are looking for next year. But our members are traumatized by this notice.
All right, let me thank you both for your time. We'll also try to get mine management to also understand, if some of what you're saying tonight is falling on their ears, and what are they going to do? You talk about how, the workers are traumatized. At the same time, there are, of course, options that have been put on the table before. Can these come back into effect again to prepare, to prevent this further job losses? So thank you so much to you both for your time. Do appreciate appreciate it. That was the NUM's General Secretary, William Mabapa, and General Secretary of Solidarity, Gideon Plessis.